Hi there, folks. It is a Tuesday morning. It's bright and early, and it is the 30th of August, and we have racing today on the Vaal main track, and the going is good. Weather looks good too. Although, strangely enough, good morning, Neil Andrews. It says mostly sunny, 30% chance of afternoon showers.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you
Sure.
believe it? I don't know where that comes from, but obviously the winds, the August winds are in full operation, and
Yeah, maybe. But I suppose that time's changing. Well, what is it? It's Spring Day on Thursday. Eh?
yeah, yeah. And they say there's a quite a strong northwesterly cross to headwind blowing. As we know, the last five yesterday in Rebecca got abandoned because of
Mm.
bad and difficult circumstances down there. It looked terrible, didn't it? If you watched.
It did. There was certainly no blue azure. There was no blue sky at all.
No.
So,
Yeah, there wasn't.
but Nino was super confident. So we'll never know. We'll never know.
Yep. Okay. Well, let's see what you're confident about today. Eight races out there today. First race off at 10 to 1. We're going to go straight into it, and I'll bring you up to date with the changes as well as the betting, which I've got here, which I'm going to bring up for the first race of the day, which is over 1,200 meters. Scratch number 13, We've Got Tonight. You'll know that song very well. John Finlayson named his horses after songs.
Mm.
Was that Kenny Rogers, was it?
Yeah.
Was it Kenny
We've
Rogers?
got tonight.
Who
Who needs tomorrow?
who was it with?
Sheila Easton, I think.
I think you're right. I was trying to remember
It
the
was
female.
he
Yeah,
was did a lot of great duets.
yeah,
But that one in particular was, yes, Kenny Rogers and Sheila Easton. I think you're right.
right. That's right. So, so
Loved Kenny Rogers. I think he died fairly recently.
yeah, in the last year, I think, sometime in the last
Yeah,
12 months. So that's scratched. Please note that JP Van der Merwe is not riding. I think he was taken off horses after the second or third yesterday. Won't be riding today. So there's no rider yet for number 10, To the King, who's still without a rider. Now, all the money here is for Houston, number 6. This one from Candice Dawson's yard made a promising debut. I remember working at the course that day. Opened up 16 to 10. There was a brief drift to 18 to 10, but the money has plummeted down into 11 to 10 now. Houston is the favorite. And number 1, Uncle Ticky Bird, who's coming back from a gelding, is at 5 to 1. And then after that, it's basically 7 to 1, Gimme Gorgeous, number 5, and 10 to 1 and Better Bar. Your feelings?
Yeah, I think you got to follow the money, but also because it's the first race, if you're taking a bipod, have a look at them on the way down to the start. And I think you can make up your mind as to who looks well tried, who looks like he might need the run, and then factor that in with the betting movements. I mean, I like a little bit of number 1, Uncle Ticky Bird, because he's a son of Vercingetorix, who's really, I mean, he was already setting high standards, but he's raised the bar again in recent weeks. I mean, everything that's at Vercingetorix is winning. So he's knocking them over. But there's some very interesting first timers. I mean, there's number 9, Secret Reef. He's a son of Rafif. There's a couple of Gimme the Green Lights. There's the interestingly named number 12, the US Open, which is actually on at the moment
Yeah,
for
did Serena
tennis.
win
So,
last? Did she win last night?
Nico, I was in bed by about
Uh,
7:45 last
uh,
night. As you know, all my kids have got various trials and tribulations.
yeah.
The one was projectile vomiting. Um, but yeah, I mean, you've obviously also, I mean, we talk about Sons of United States. I mean, it's a great name, Houston, isn't it? Because not only is he the United States, but his mother's called We Have Liftoff,
Mm.
which is, of course, a very nice name. So I think it'll behave itself for first race. For me, if I was taking a bipod, Nico, I'd be going nothing creative, 1 and 6, I think.
Just very quickly, because I was working on the day that Houston made his debut, I was presenting at the course, and I quite like the chances of number 14, What Say You? Now, if you look carefully, Neil, they
Hmm.
ran 2 lengths within each other, but What Say You had him clearly on now is Brewer. So there's a weight adjustment there. It's gone up significantly in the weights. But what I'm saying is that I find it difficult to believe the difference between the two prices. The one is 11
Hmm.
to 10, the other's 10 to 1, Neil. And they ran in that same race. And I remember What Say You finishing off its race really well at the end. So I'm just bringing that to everyone's attention to say, look, I don't believe it's a 10, 12 to 1 chance, and I think it's better than that. So I'm just putting that out there. St. John Gray hasn't had many runners this season yet. So that's the one that I thought might be even improving a little more in its third run. Okay, that starts with the bipod, Neil. The PA starts in race 2, a maiden for 3-year-old fillies over 1,200 meters. Here you can scratch number 9, Hey Now, which is another song. You remember that one?
Yeah.
Very nice
Hey
song.
now, hey now. Who is that? Hey now is
Hey now. Hey.
oh, it's that
Leave
guy.
me, Nana. Hey now, hey
I,
now.
it's my wife's gonna kill me because I
Cosmic
always call the
Notes.
guy Jim 5000, but his name's something else. But yeah, good song.
Yeah, very good song. I just want to see now who sings it to put you out of your misery. Uh,
Yes.
Not London Grammar, is it? Is it?
No.
No.
No. No.
Oasis.
No. There is an
Oh,
Oasis
Crowded
song called
House.
Hey Now. He's
Crowded
not.
House. Not
No,
Crowded House.
well, there's a few Hey Now. Yes, there is a Hey Now, but it wasn't the one I was thinking of. There's a
No.
few Hey
So
Now.
that
It's
was
funny you should mention it. That's about the fourth one. I hadn't thought of them, but there's a
no,
whole
no, that
bunch
was
of
the one
them.
I was thinking of, but it's not called Hey Now. It's called Don't Dream It's Over.
Correct.
Crowded
Yes,
House. That's
that's
not
Crowded
called.
House. But there is a.
Yeah.
I'm sure the Hey Now is the Hey Now, which is an up tempo thing from that band, and then the lead singer went solo. But anyway,
Okay. Okay. So anyway, Queen of Smoke, Neil, is all the rage here. Stuart Pettigrew's yard going along pretty nicely. 3-1 to 11-10. Now that's a big, big betting move, and they haven't stopped coming for it. So that's interesting. That's the favorite.
Nico, Randall Simons, has he ridden a couple of winners since he's returned to the irons?
No,
Because
so
it's
I'll quickly give you the stats there because I did look it up. So he came back to riding
yeah,
after a
because
very lengthy
he
spell.
keeps having these, he's booked and then he doesn't ride. So I
Yeah,
don't know where we're at with that.
he's had this will be his fourth ride back, and fourth, second, ninth, the first three.
Okay, so he's on the board at least.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, he's had a couple of rides, and then you get to the track, and he's not riding. So we'll see if he does take up that engagement. I wish him all the best. It's been a long time in coming. I've got a bit of a roughie in this race, Nico.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just see what price it is. Well, there's no money for it at all. It's spiraled off the betting. But I quite like Heather Adamson's horse to run an improved race, number 6, Summer of Dreams. I thought it was a very interesting booking with Smunga
It
Kamalo
was,
riding it.
yeah.
And she's run 2 fair races. Lady of Power fair debut, and then Captain Pegu is, I think, quite decent. She's the filly that beat our
Yeah.
filly, Ready to Fly.
On debut, yeah. I remember that.
And that was, as you see, in winner's company. So I thought that she could improve at a big price. She's 16-1. But clearly the money all seems to be for the 11, and then a touch of money for this long shot. What do you make of money for 19, Raining Rubies?
Oh, well, very interesting. She is the half sister to Imperial Ruby, Neil,
Oh.
and to Burmese Tiara. Very interesting debutante, Raining Rubies. Well, you see, there is a bit of a smattering of support for her. I'll wait and adopt a wait and see attitude with her. Just very quickly, Neil, number 15, Masava, I think is a huge price at 7-1.
Yeah.
Now, granted, she ran a distant third behind that runaway winner, Rocket's Red Glare, who won for the Laird stable. But I really liked her on debut. I thought that she would run a better race. I still think that she's in the mix here, and I'll be snapping up a bit of 7-1 straight after the show because I think just because of the weight of support for Queen of Smoke, everything else is blowing out. And I think if you don't go for Queen of Smoke, you've got chances to get some nice prices here. So I'm on Masava. Just very quickly, I bumped into Heather Adamson at the sales on Saturday. And I just said to her that we all went for Future Wolf last week, Neil. And she just said, geez, it just needed to hang on. It just got touched off, I said, we were all on it. She said she was on the double, the first two. Gimme the Flame, I think, was the first one. Also didn't get there, just got beat. So, her stable's in good form. I'm quite happy to go with that 2 Summer of Dreams, but I do like Masava. I think Masava I think Yeni and Masava have got a big chance there. So I don't, like you, believe Queen of Smoke should be that short of price.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. For what it's worth, Masava would have been my third choice. So we're not far off being in full agreement there.
Yeah. Okay, just very quickly in that race, number 12, Dil Divana has blinkers, and number 16, Tanusha's Star, Alamites in front, Unshot behind. Let's go pick 6 time now. Right, this will be interesting. The third race is a maiden for 3-year-olds up the straight 1,600 meters. 2 o'clock's the off time. Here, scratch number 5, Dungeons, is scratched, and that's the only change. 1 to 5, Now I Got You. It was 1 to 7. It was leaning towards 1 to 8 for Corey Lensley and Gavin Larena. Muzi Yeni's obviously chopped off after he didn't get there on July Day behind Mover and Shaker. Muzi hasn't seen the back of Now I Got You since then. But this horse is 1 to 5. Bronze Sword, the first timer from the pedigree yard, opened up 8.5 to 1, shortened 6 to 1, now starting to drift. And then Battleground is at 6 to 1, the second choice in the market. What do you think? Do you think this is home at 1 to 5? Now I Got You?
He should be, really. It's not your or my cup of tea to be taking 1 to 2, never mind 1 to 7s or 1 to 5s. When I first, I as you know, always do things back to front. So I started with number 7 and worked my way up. When I got to number 2, Battleground, I thought, right, that's going to be my horse.
Yes.
And then, of course, when I got to number 1, I thought, well, he's going to be very hard to beat because it's a maiden. So it's not a maiden handicap. Yeah. If it was a maiden handicap, Battleground will be getting 40 kilograms. Yeah. I mean, this horse, Now I Got You, is a 105. When last did you see a maiden off a 105?
Yeah, yeah.
So, Nico, he should win. I mean, yeah, he was a bit unlucky. I think we were all on him on July Day. He was just nabbed late. And then I don't think that was his best run on the next meeting, which probably was the Gold Cup meeting, I think, on the 30th of July. But the Thunderstruck form, the Mercantile form, although it says 0 out of 6, 0 out of 8, I think they're very decent horses. Yeah, I think he'll win. What I would probably do, Nico, from a pick 6 point of view, if I was taking a pick 6, I would put in 1, 2, and the scratching in order to double up with the favourite. But the pedigree horse you don't need, of course, from a pick 6 point of view, as long as you got the first raced horse home. So for me, 1, 2, and the scratching.
Okay, very interesting thoughts there. I tend to lean onto your idea there that is the right take on it. The only thing about it is it's a straight mile, and then what is in Battleground's favor is that he made his debut up that same course, and only 200 meters to go. And I watched the replay last night. He was making good effort late. If I rated him on that run, Neil, you can only rate him in the region of 80. Because without equals an 88. So it's like you said, 25 equates to 12.5 kilos on that run. Yeah. If you take the ratings as read. But that said, I still have some sort of hope for Battleground. But I think it's going to be a tall order for it to beat the favourite there. So 1 and 2 for me. Okay, race 4, the start of the first jackpot. This is another maiden for 3-year-old filly, 1,600 meters. Scratch here, late scratching 3. Kit Kat Katie is out. You can scratch that one. And any other changes in race 4? Number 4, Streets Ahead, has blinkers. And number 7, Elusive Madam, also has a set of blinkers on. Another short price, a Colourful Past, is 3.5, basically 4 to 10, again for the same stable. Colourful Past is the favourite, and there's been a bit of money for the horse I can't pronounce, number 6, who's at 6 to 1, and then number 5, the first time at Green Light Ranger, also at 6 to 1. Another one that should be home.
Well, Nico, all I can say is what I wrote here, with absolutely no disrespect to the owners of the majority of this field. I wrote here, could well be the worst maiden field ever assembled in the history of racing. That's what I wrote. I think a Colourful Past, you might not be going to Hollywood, I think will win. But it does, because I've written that. I mean, the 5, who's the daughter of Green Light give me the green light. And you'll remember Joan Ranger. We like Joan Ranger. In
Yes.
fact, all of the Van Scoor runners, I've always liked his horses.
Yeah.
Maybe, I mean, it doesn't have to be too clever to hit the board for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, what I'm seeing, I think Gavin Darina might have a quick, very short odds-on double.
Okay, yeah, I think that is definitely of the two odds-on favour, more in that one's camp than the previous one. Again, very, very short. People will be taking this in doubles and trebles and putting it on to everything else under the sun. Unfortunately, not onto Rory McIlroy, which is already run and gone. There's someone walking around with those winning Rory McIlroy tickets. I don't know. Have you seen them?
Yes.
Have you seen them at all?
No, they haven't been cashed in yet, so we're okay. My super pick script has arrived for today, going completely off point.
Yes.
Folks shouldn't forget there's Premier League football tonight. I see you're away at Southampton, your beloved Chelsea.
There was a bank holiday yesterday, so why would there be tonight? What's the occasion?
I think, you know what, I think, Nico, as you know, the Qatar World Cup is this year, so they're jamming fixtures in because they've got to jam fixtures in before the World Cup starts.
There's a full set of fixtures today, then?
Yeah, tonight I think there's 6 games. Tomorrow the other 7 or whatever.
Wonderful.
So today and tomorrow, yeah. Maybe there's one on Thursday. I haven't looked, but I do know if you're playing Fantasy League, you must remember to get on because there's matches this afternoon, this evening.
Hopefully Scott Kenny is listening out there and takes full advantage of that. Okay.
I see Ewan is doing okay, but yours truly is second on the log.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay, you're doing well then?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
I've started off better than I've started off previous season, so we shall see.
Okay. Let's move into race 5, Neil. It's a merit-rated 71 handicap over 1,700 meters. Here, number 1, Lashawi's no blinkers. That's the change there. Now, let's have a look at this market. The favourite, Sir Talin, number 2, is at 28 to 10. Number 3, Wandering Star, is at 33 to 10. Now, look at the money for Ming Shi, number 6. From 6 to 1 is into 4 to 1. Now, we've been for this a couple of times, Neil, you and I. 6 to 1 into 4 to 1. Number 1, Lashawi's at 4 to 1. And then 7, Parker Getrix, from 7 to 1 into 11 to 2. 6 to 1, Chasing Maverick. So they are very, very closely bunched over here in the market. If I can go first, Neil, I would never have thought that I would have gone for this horse in this race. But my top choice is Parker Getrix, actually, with a lightweight.
Sure. I'm astonished. I mean, you didn't have many nice things to say about Parker Getrix when it was having its 16th start and hadn't won.
No, and last time out, I think they put the money on in bundles last time out, and I didn't like it at all. I said, what on earth are they doing? It ran 4 lengths behind, but somehow with a weight of 52.5 kilos, it comes up very well here. And that was my first choice. But that said, Neil, it had a very, very open look to it.
Yeah, very open look, Nico. I mean, I've got to put Parker Getrix in. Mingshi is my first choice, so I'm a bit disappointed that they've snaffled up the 6, 7 to 1 because I think that's about right now, 4 to 1. But in the back of my mind, I thought he might be 6 to 1, in which case he was worth a punt for me because of Muzzy and a 1 draw. I've said it before. I've got to say it again. Before Sir Talon left Cape Town, I'd sort of on the back of a cigarette box, I'd worked out that I'd lost about 87,000 Rand on Sir Talon. Since he's arrived in Joburg, I've now raised my bat. I've gone for it again and again and again and again. I mean, when I see Alan next time, I'm going to say to him, Alan, it would have been cheaper if I'd actually gone to the sales and bought the horse for 200,000. So I find him extremely costly to follow. When Rachel started riding, I thought, right, that's what he needs. 1.5 kilograms off. And as you've seen, he's run a rather dirty 4th and 3rd. So he'll win eventually, but I'm afraid I've finally given up. But for me, Mingshi, Nico, I wouldn't put Parker Getrix without a big shout. He is a versing Getrix, and he's got some fair form. And as you say, he's lurking towards the bottom of the weight. So he's got to be a runner. I agree with you.
Yeah. Okay, so Neil's on Mingshi. I'm on Parker Getrix. It does have an open look about it. Lashawi's comes in the hefty weight, but Henny Kraling's only had one ride on it and won, so that obviously does deserve a bit of a mention too. Okay, race 6 off at 3:45 is a merit rated 90 handicap. It's over 1,200 meters. Let's have a look at any changes. Yeah, just the one change. Number 1, Kings Road, has a half set of Alamites in front only. The betting, Matisse is the way you pronounce it, number 7, is at 17-10. 5-2, number 6, Twice as Splendid. 3-1, Burning Wings, and 9-2, Vegas High Rise. All the favorites down at the bottom of the page.
Yeah, I think the winner will come from towards the bottom of the handicap. But having said that, I don't have a standout bet. I would sort of be playing flat in this race with the likes of 5, 6, and 7. I can't really separate them. You know, that they're all relatively, well, certainly Vegas High Rise and Matisse are very lightly raced. They've only had 9 and 2 runs respectively, but I can't get away from Twice as Splendid. I think the Maroon Yard's been doing particularly well. They've come back with some good form recently, and it's got Gavin Lorena on board. So with all due respect to its previous riders, I think that's definitely a jockey strike. It is drawn 1, but, you know, it's a small field. I think that's neither here nor there. So definitely going to pop in the 6. But yeah, I think the winner will come from those bottom 3, Nico.
Yeah, my top choice was Vegas High Rise, Neil. If you have a look at Twice as Splendid's run on the 23rd of April, Neil, there's a huge discrepancy in the weights here, which favors Vegas High Rise strongly. I can't believe that on that run, Twice as Splendid is 5-2 and Vegas High Rise is double the price. That I found quite interesting. I think the booking of Lorena has something to do with the fact that it's 5-2. But I was certainly in Vegas High Rise's camp on what I studied last night. I think, like you, the winner is going to come from the bottom part of that race, numbers 4 onwards. Okay, race 7 is off at 4:15. It's a graduation plate for fillies and mares. It's a 1,000-meter trip. Scratched here. There are 2 late scratchings, by the way. Number 2, Quick Run, is out with youngster Seba on, and also number 3, Vuitton. So just scratch those 2 and 3, which means only 6 runners go to post in this race. And yeah, let's have a look at that betting. Queen of Gaul is a narrow favorite, number 5 at 17-10, 22-10 Showtime. A chance right now for Calvin Habib with JP indisposed today. That's the second favorite. And then money for Benguela Cove into 22-10. So those are the top 3. Clean Livings at 6-1.
Yeah, I think Queen of Gaul is the interesting horse here at the weights. I mean, Benguela Cove wouldn't surprise me if she won, but she does have to shoulder 60 kilograms. And Queen of Gaul has got just 55. So has Showtime. And so, well, in fact, Clean Living's got a kilogram less. So I'm not so sure whether Benguela Cove can ship that kind of weight to all 3 of these. And I might come back to the Vercingetorix again. I've mentioned him as a stallion a couple of times today, but he could have another red letter day. There's been a lot of them winning, and he's got representatives all over the place. So it could be another really big day for Vercingetorix. You would have been at the sales when you saw that understandably, he's got a full book, but the team at Main Chance put up a stallion service to him at the end of the sales. I saw Graham selling it. I think it went for 380 or something like that in the end. Yeah, it was going up. It went for quite a. I don't know who ended up buying it, but I enjoyed Graham selling it because it wasn't obviously like a normal horse. He was having a bit of fun with it. But anyway, my point is he's just a super stallion. And he might get another winner here. But having said that, you know the Kuraris are quick, and Simango Kamala rides Clean Living. Maybe there's some value in that. But for me, I was leaning towards Queen of Gaul, yeah.
I agree with you. I do like Queen of Gaul. I think that's the horse to beat. But like you, Benguela Cove definitely is a danger. Can't be ruled out. So I made it 5-1 and then 4 only after that. That's interesting. 380 for that service. I mean, those guys at Main Chance must be rubbing their hands with glee after
Yeah,
that.
I hope I'm right. Maybe it was 280, but no, I think
yeah.
it got to the 300s.
Yeah.
It was quite interesting. I mean, so what had happened was it got to whatever at 280, 290, and then there was new blood. You know, somebody else came in and so it spiked a little bit. But yeah, ever popular Vercingetorix for sure.
Well, I can honestly tell you that it wasn't me, just in case you're wondering about the Clock and the Gallop funds of buying horses. That it wasn't me going into the breeding rant.
No, well, I mean, I don't know. Is your mare Tara still, is she still producing?
No. I've got to speak to a couple of people and ask them if she's still producing or whereabouts she is. But most of those people that did house her have also gone out of business. Anyway, let's move on to race number 8, the last of the day. And this is a merit race at 84 handicap. It's over 1,400 meters. And in race number 8, number 1, Whirly has no blinkers. Now, can I start there? Because last time, both you and I, despite the fact that it was in a 5-horse field, both said, surely this is a bit of a runner. And we had a cheap thrill for some part of the way before his effort petered out. Now, he is 8 years old and he's running inconsistently, but his course and distance form is fantastic. And he's down to an 86, 25 points from his highest rating ever of 111. Can he surprise you, Whirly, in the last?
I think he can, Nico. And I think we were probably undone. So I looked at him here and I thought maybe we're undone because he's 8 years of age and maybe he needs 7 furlongs now.
Yeah.
You know, maybe the days of him being competitive over 1,000 and 1,150 and 1,200 are behind him. And, you know, he is 8. So maybe with that run under his belt and over the 1,400, yeah, I thought I'd give him, certainly going to include him. I'm not going to leave him out at all. He is an 11-time winner, and horses never lose their ability. So, you know, he's no spring chicken anymore. But I thought even with his top weight, as you say, he's down to an 86. I think he could be competitive in what, for me, Nico, is a very open race. I think it's fairly trappy here. I mean, I went around and round. I was going to brass Wakas completely, but actually on a couple of lines of form, even he comes in, you know, with some kind of chance here. So for me, I'm going to go a little bit wide in that race, in this last race.
Now, there's lots of money on Cabinet Shuffle. Last time I got undone by the stable companion Midnight Badger, but they put the lights out on Cabinet Shuffle, having his first run in Joburg. I think he's a definite runner. Like you, I think that Wakas's got a chance. I made Sound of Hounds obviously my first choice. I thought that he's just slightly underrated compared to what I make him at. I think he's probably a couple of kilos underrated, yeah. And I went for St. John Grey earlier on, Neil, in that opening event. And you know the way that we punt, the fact that we've gone for the one, we have to go for the other. So I thought we would have a fairly good day, St. John Grey, today. So, yeah, it is open. I think we'll leave it at that. That isn't a clear-cut race, but if we're giving Whirly a chance, he's one of the biggest price horses in the race, and we obviously think that it is pretty open there. Okay, Neil, I can hear business starting up behind you, so I'm going to let you go. Any last comments?
No, but if the horses are shouted at as much as the noise in here, I mean, it'll be a raucous day out there at the Vaal. I think I can hear Tanta Mweng has just arrived.
Well, tell her to come and say hi. Is she there? Tell her to come and say hi.
She's going to come in now. Here she is. She's arrived now because she heard me shouting Tanta Mweng.
Tell her to come and say hi quickly. Come and say hi on this.
Well, can you come and say hi to Nico at the back here?
Yeah, I want to say.
I want to say. Live Zoom.
You're live on my show. You're live on our show. You're live on our show. Good morning. How are you, Tatu? Are you well? How are you? Hello. How are you? They're all here. They don't know they're on our program, but is that Colafelo? Was that Colafelo?
Yes.
Oh, hello, Colafelo. Hello, Tatu. How are you?
Yeah, there they are. They're my producers and, well, the senior anchor, of course. Ringamo.
You're leading.
Yes, absolutely. So there you go. You've got a bit of everything today. But anyway, thanks, Nico. Yeah, we look forward to today's racing.
Wonderful. Thanks so much, Neil. And all the best. Take it easy. And we'll speak to you soon again, maybe later in the week.
Sharp.
Go well.